I think I've only seen the first one.
First one's good.
Yeah. I think that. No, how long ago was that?
A while now.
Yeah.
Put it this way, they've made 4.
Right now, I have to stop saying.
Yeah, well, honestly, it's the best way to open the show, and then we know we're on. We just hear you say you have to stop saying the F word.
Well, you guys were talking. I know, Luds. I didn't give you a heads up this time, but you guys were deep in John Wick discussion.
Man.
I figured it would be best to just.
I think
let
John
that
wants
go
to get
live.
home.
So for the chat, Buddy was just seeing an ad on our monitor before we started the show for John Wick Chapter 4. He didn't know that they had made more than the first one. It's a lot of shooting.
Oh yeah, now they're gonna grind every dollar out of it. There's already like a spin-off with Ana de Armas. There's like a show on Peacock. I don't know. Those might be the same thing. I don't know.
I haven't seen that one, but either way, the Stars are victorious. Luddy learned something tonight. I'd say we all went home happy. You're on the Stars postgame show.
Get it ready, boys.
Let's Oh, he is indeed a handsome devil, our Thomas, isn't he? This is the DLS Dallas Stars postgame show after a victorious 4-2 win for the Stars over the New Jersey Devils. Alongside Craig Ludwig and our producer, John Anderson, I'm Owen Newkirk. Our intrepid little buddy, Sam Nestler, our beat reporter, will be joining us from Newark at Prudential Center live a little bit later in the show after he gets done with his writing duties and interviewing and all the stuff that we do. Luds, I think we all knew that this game was not going to look like what we saw in the U.S.-Canada final of the Four Nations. And it was a very different pace right out of the hop. And for a little while there early in the third period, you and I were starting to stifle some yawns. But then it got fun. Stars got the win. That's the most important thing.
Thank God for about 4 or 5 minutes, 6 minutes into the third when something started to happen. Yeah, it was kind of what we expected, I think. It was a little sloppy in the beginning. There were a lot of pucks along the walls, not tape to tape. Pucks were being turned over from both clubs. But again, it's to be expected. But I just thought that Casey DeSmith was, for the first couple periods, he was great. Well, matter of fact, through the whole game, he was great. But he did the majority of the work in the first 40 minutes, I think, as far as the Dallas Stars go.
Do you think that because we're going to talk about our recap and goals and all that, but do you think because Dallas jumped out to an early lead, that led to them not sitting back, but just not having to try to force the game, and that's why it got kind of dull for a while?
I don't think they sat back. I just think Dallas wasn't creating a ton.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It seemed like, I don't know, I thought New Jersey was pretty good. I mean, once they got going, there was some high quality, as you were going to probably say, high danger, Chad. We're going to hear those two words probably quite a bit.
Look at all those Stars.
I'm worried we're going to have to go
Casey
through every
DeSmith.
single one of them. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that really is the story of the night. We could talk about the goals that they scored, and there were some good ones. Casey DeSmith was fantastic. We weren't sure that he was going to be the starter. Honestly, I thought it might be Jake Ottinger. They went with Casey. Turned out to be the right decision.
Sure was. I mean, maybe Jake would have done the same thing.
He could have been fine.
Yeah, but I think that Casey was prepared for tonight's game. He's probably been sitting there waiting for a game to get in the net. So, yeah, he was good. And they had some good chances. The thing is that I don't know if there was a lot of second and third opportunities off it. You know, they were kind of like one and done, but there were some that you don't want to give up early on, especially if you haven't had a goaltender that's seen some action in a little bit.
We might have a little bit of an audio.
Crawling around.
Usually John starts crawling around when there's something buzzing on a microphone. So is it Luds or is it me?
I thought I heard. I think I could hear like a little buzz, like way in the background. Maybe
it might be my pacemaker. It's time for
time for new batteries.
New batteries.
Do the camera batteries work in that?
Yeah.
Are those interchangeable?
Yeah, just
I think we're good. Maybe I'm hearing ghosts. I'm like the producer Sam Darnold right now.
It's been 2 weeks since we did a Stars postgame show, but it's only been a couple of days since we did a postgame because we were here for the Four Nations final. Luds, the early chance. Honestly, I didn't think Dallas was very good early until they scored. It was Nate Bastian had a really good chance. Came on the right circle on an entry, and DeSmith was there early. They gave Dougie Hamilton an opening earlier than that in the first 30 seconds. He missed the net. But then it led to the Dadonov goal. And you did a breakdown in between the first and second periods about why this started. And Dadonov was wide open in front. 16th goal of the year. Got his own rebound from Dumba and Bork. Bork gets another point at 3:58, 1-0 Stars. But there was a play that led to this that you really highlighted.
Well, yeah, and I don't think anybody's really going to think it's much of a play. And it was Lian Bichsel. I mean, he gets up, he gains the line. He gets, just about to the blue line. And what he doesn't do is he doesn't put it in hard. He doesn't hard rim it. He doesn't get it in an area where the goaltender can make a play on it. He just puts it in softly into the corner, and now it becomes a battle. I mean, it's a 50-50 puck. Dallas wins the puck. And then it comes out. And the other guy that I thought did a good job on this was Matt Dumba. Once he got the puck, he got rid of it. He got his head up.
Are you going to give our viewers, our diehards, Matt Dumba praise?
Yes, Matt was good tonight. I think there were a lot of situations Matt Dumba played well. But on this one here, he gets the puck and then he spots Dadonov. And he had to put it through a couple of guys, but it ultimately hit Dadonov's stick once. Allen makes a save, and nobody around in a red jersey. I mean, that's the reason the goal was scored, is Dadonov gets his own rebound and then tucks it in on the short side. And, Allen made that first save up with his right pad. But I thought that what Bichsel did initially for that soft jump allows them to get on and get in and forecheck and turn the puck over. And then when Dumba gets it, he's got his head up. He spots Dadonov and he gets it off his stick right away.
Matt Dumba now has assists in 3 straight games. That's what's called a point streak. I told you that getting rid of that big plastic bubble was going to help him.
Yeah, could be. Who knows? Could be.
But great play all the way around. Yeah. And the reason why I wanted to have you talk about the Bichsel play is you say, oh, it's a minor thing. Nobody's going to highlight it. Well, except for you did. But little details is the difference between a good AHL player and an everyday NHL player. It's not always the flashy stuff, although we saw plenty of that in the first period with Bichsel as he got under the skin of a couple of guys. And the next couple of sequences after this goal and helped lead to the penalty that led to the Harley power play goal. And those little details, whether it's putting the puck in the right area to keep a play alive or finishing your hit and drawing a penalty because somebody gets mad, those are really important.
Yeah, you know how many times that a young player or any player really, when you get into a certain area, you want to put the puck in, a young guy will make sure it's getting in, because if it doesn't get in, coaches are going to say, hey, that's got to be in deep. You got to make sure it's deep. So what you typically do is you pound it in, make sure it goes in deep. Now we're seeing a little bit more poise, I think, with the puck and I don't want to say that like he didn't have poise. I think what we've seen him kind of go in stages, where in the beginning he got it, made a couple passes, direct passes, hit guys up the middle of the ice. Then the next game or two, it kind of went hard around the boards, but he's making sure the pucks are out of his zone. And now I think there's a little bit more poise with the puck. He's feeling a little bit more comfortable with the pace of the game, not the American League game. He's feeling comfortable with the pace of the NHL game. And I think what brings a lot of that, that makes it easier, is when you're looking around before you get the puck. Before you get to the puck, you kind of know where your outlets are, where's the pressure coming from, and you got a little bit of a jump on what you want to do with the puck. So you can see that he's settling in, he's becoming more comfortable. And then he's back. I mean, he never left, but he leads the team again in hits with 6 hits tonight. And there were a couple of heavy hits, one in particular on Mercer, but now
took him right off his skates.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's I don't. How many games has he played now? What number game is this for him tonight?
For Bichsel this season, now 17.
Okay, so
that's how many in his career.
Yeah, that's his 17th game, and I think that when teams are now playing Dallas, the word is out that you're going to have to be aware of the guy, because he's going to finish his checks, and he might finish his checks too, but he finishes his checks and. He's a big, heavy body. Let's just move on. That's going to be a sound clip, isn't it?
You say that, but we're laughing and you're laughing. Well, kind of was funny.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he got John. Look, for all the times you and John yell at each other, you got a giggle out of him that time, so that helps. Matt Dumba with some high praise. People are happy in the chat. You were talking about it. JT writes, Dumba felt the Four Nations snub, upping his game for the Olympics. That is pretty funny right there. I like that. So you get Bichsel to draw a penalty. I didn't really even see much from what Brendan Dillon did. He stepped up at a play at the blue line, Bichsel. Dillon didn't like it. There was a puck trickled in on DeSmith. He picked it up. Dillon skated over, maybe to defend his D partner?
No.
Or do you think he said something?
No. Guys like Brendan Dillon, all those kind of players, they know. That's what I mean. The word is getting around the league about this guy, and he's a heavy guy. He's going to finish his checks. And Brendan Dillon is that kind of player. You're hitting one of my guys. I'm going to step in and say, hey, no more of that, or we're going to have to dance around a little bit. And that's just the kind of player Brendan Dillon is. I mean, it's coming to the point now, I think, with Bichsel, and it's going to definitely be there. But his name won't necessarily be circled on a board. We talk about circling players' names, and it means you key on those guys. It's not going to be circling his name, but it's going to be, hey, you're going to have to keep your head up. And when you're going into the corner, he's on the ice, more than likely he's going to finish his check. And he doesn't do anything dirty. He's not a dirty player. He finishes, for a big guy, he does a good job keeping his arms and his elbows down, and he doesn't get anything for high sticking or elbowing. And, there's going to be times when that's going to happen, but I think he's done a really good job at being a physical player and not heading to the box a lot.
Boy, they're really loving your finishes as chicks line. They're all over it now.
Well,
becoming.
We all love that?
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Yeah. Look at that. At least he's a caring lover, says Ardell. They are laughing about that. But yeah, a couple people said also saying that, I prefer, like Lane said, he prefers Bichsel. He says this is probably a homer. I prefer Bichsel over Ristolainen or Seth Jones. Trading him for either of them would kill me. I don't think the Stars are even considering that. If they're going to try to pick up anybody else to help the blue line, it's to make sure to compliment Bichsel. They're not sending him anywhere.
No, I don't think that they have any intention of it. He's a different player than those guys too. I mean, like I said, he's going to be a guy that you see what happens when he goes to the front of the net. He takes care of his goaltenders, and if somebody gets a little bit too close and there's a whistle, he makes sure he's the guy there pushing him out of there. So that reputation is going to spread, and that's only going to help him. And again, I go back to the Darian Hatcher thing. When Hatch played like that for a big guy, knowing that if you're going to go into a certain area, you're going to have to answer, you get an extra second with the puck. And so when you want to make plays, guys will come in and they're supposed to finish checks, but they're not going to hit you too hard. When pucks are dumped in to a corner and it's going to be his corner, he's going back, and you're supposed to be the guy going to get the puck, you can find a convenient way to kind of turn when you go into that corner to make sure you're not first in the corner. And that's ultimately what will happen. And that's how the defensemen that play that kind of style get that extra second to make better plays.
So the power play, Harley scores. Because, of course, Harley scores. He's riding a high.
Yeah.
We talk about his confidence all the time. But this started with a little bit of a subtle play by Wyatt Johnston off the faceoff. He gave a little bit of interference to the opposing center who was trying to chase out to Harley to keep him from getting the lane. But also for a guy who was almost invisible tonight in Rope Hintz, he played a very important part in Harley's power play goal.
Yeah, to start with Wyatt, what he does on the faceoff is not only is he taking the faceoff, but the player that he's taking a face-off, you get a jump. He gets a jump because he's facing up. Wyatt takes off, and he's on the inside of him. In other words, he's on the middle of the ice, and he doesn't try to hold him up. He skates with him, but allows him to kind of move a little bit towards Harley, but knowing that Harley's going to be able to get the corner on him, and that's ultimately what starts the play. So, and because he did take a little bit of a dive. He falls, and I think he's kind of hoping for a little interference call, but Harley wasn't doing anything to draw that kind of attention. And then what Thomas does, he gets his head up, he takes his time, and then he finds that seam, and he shoots it between the legs of, I don't know who it was. Was that Jesper Bratt, maybe?
I think it might have been Bratt.
Yeah. Anyways, he shoots it. He finds a hole, but again, it's about Rupe Hintz that gets to the front of the net. And
I think it was Heischer because Bratt wasn't on the ice.
Was it Heischer? Okay.
Was Heischer the one that fell down?
We'll just go down the
lineup.
We'll eventually get the right
I'm
guy.
looking at who was on the ice. So it was either Heischer or it was, who's the other forward there? It was Mercer.
That's who it was.
91.
I knew we had to get in there.
Yep.
Sooner
See,
or later,
we just kept saying names.
Yeah.
We got it.
Well, and he found a hole between his legs, and I'm sure.
John is lost it now.
I figured that one was
Well,
good.
you said it twice in the last 30
Did
seconds.
you have your mic on? Because did you hear the snort laugh there?
That was like
really
a double take.
I wish we had the mic on for John. I think
it was on.
Oh my God! Did
I
anyone
didn't turn it off.
in the chat? Did you guys hear a snort laugh? Because those are the best. No, well, we'll find out.
All
anyway,
right. So anyways, he hits the 5 hole of Mercer.
What are we doing?
Well, he does.
So he splits the
Alan
wickets.
can't see it because Rupe Hintz is taking the vision away from Jake Allen. I think that should be clear now. Nothing you can take out of that. And Harley scores.
He's laughing too.
Harley scores.
Oh, he does. All right, we're getting ourselves back on track. Everybody else is loving the fact that the silly post-game show is back. Harley's 10th of the year. Honestly, Luds, I'm a little surprised in my head that he's hit double digits because it doesn't feel like he's been scoring
no.
that much this year. And I kind of remember our conversation when Harley was in his contract, if you want to call it a dispute, or let's call it negotiations, where they were probably asking for Evan Bouchard type money, and the Stars were saying, you really haven't proven that. And yet suddenly here after game 56, he's got 10 goals.
I think they're spread out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not coming in bunches. One of them was
I don't even want to know.
I should have just kept going.
You should have. Ben Selheim, this is not our GM. Ben goes, finishes his chicks and hits the 5-hole.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Look at that right on the screen. Oh, goodness. You know what? The thing that is interesting to me about this play, Luds, is that Harley with Heiskanen out is seizing the moment on the power play. He got 2 shots in 15 seconds, right? Initial draw, they win. He gets a shot off, and that's a one-timer to the net, and then they get another play off the draw. He goes in, and they score a goal. 15 seconds of power play time, 2 shots. That's not messing with it on the perimeter.
Yeah, what Thomas does, he's got the poise. He has the patience with the puck. He can find the lanes to get it there, but he doesn't look for a better play. There's some players that'll get in there and go, I think there's something a little bit better in there. And then that's when the lanes close down. Thomas sees the lane. He takes the shot. He doesn't look to throw it through a bunch of legs and try to end up getting it to somebody on the outside of the net. He just makes sure that pucks get to the net, and he's getting rewarded for it. And he's got a great shot. He's got a good release. We've said this for a long time. I think he's got the best instincts of the defenseman on this team. And when you give him that opportunity, he's taken the advantage of the opportunity now. Unfortunately, that Miro's out. And so when Miro comes back, I'm sure Miro's going to pop back in there. But now you've got, at least for the coaching staff, you got a couple options that you can trust.
Right after the power play goal, and then we're going to get to our break here. Tomas Tatar had a point-blank chance at the top of the crease. DeSmith made that save. And then Andre Palat was wide open in the low slot on another chance, and DeSmith did that. Couple of grade A's there. Bastian had that one early. Big reason why it was 2-0 Stars after one.
Yeah, there were a couple flurries. I mean, and I don't mean one after and after on the same player, but Casey just seemed to be dialed in early, and if he wasn't, it could have been easily down a couple goals or at least tied going into the second period. I think, though, because of DeSmith is the reason that they took that 2-0 lead in the first period.
All right, we're going to try to compose ourselves and continue here on the DLS Dallas Stars postgame show.
Rugged Road is dedicated to creating innovative and durable outdoor gear for adventurers who demand the best. Our products are designed with the highest quality materials and craftsmanship, ensuring they perform in the toughest conditions. One of the most unique features is its ability to always float upright. Crafted to handle the toughest environments, our coolers are built to last, ensuring they can keep up with any adventure. The coolers are guaranteed to keep their contents cool for up to 7 days. Perfect for a variety of outdoor activities, from fishing and tubing to camping and tailgating. These coolers are designed to meet the needs of every outdoor or sports enthusiast. So gear up for your next adventure with Rugged Road coolers, reliable, durable, and built to be used. Rugged Road is your ultimate outdoor companion. Head to ruggedroadoutdoors.com and use code DLLS for 10% off.
All right, let's talk about Sleeper. Simply put, best fantasy league platform out there. Put your puck knowledge to the test, or ball knowledge. It doesn't just have to be hockey. By picking whether your favorite or least favorite players will have more or less than their projected stats each week. This one is for you, Luds. Tomorrow, huge showdown, even though that one team's not having a great season. Liverpool at Manchester City, English Premier League. I have Mo Salah, who is on fire this year for the Reds, with more than 1.5 shots on target. Exciting. If I'm right, you can win 2.18 times your money. Tag them together, make it go even higher. With Sleeper, the more picks you combine, the more you can win, all the way up to 100 times your money. And, of course, you are kept in the loop with instant alerts, breaking news, major injuries, in real time, and impress your friends how smart you are. If you think you have what it takes, new users can download the Sleeper app and use the code DLLSSTARS to get $55 in free entries when you place a $5 contest. Apply it to any contest. It doesn't have to be your first. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states. Check out Sleeper today. Before we get to the next part of our recap, that power play goal, Luds, was especially important because New Jersey's third in the league in penalty kill. Dallas entered the night first. They had gone 18 in a row over their previous 5 games before the break and 26 for 27 in their last 9. They simply do not give up a lot of power play goals against.
Yeah, I didn't think Allen was great early. I mean, he didn't get tested a ton either.
No, he did not.
No. So, but again, sometimes you just have to give credit to the Stars. I mean, again, it was about traffic. No, that one, it was tough on that one there, but there was some that he got fortunate that he was able to keep out of the net too, though. Stars
power play is a tale of two cities, so to speak, or a tale of two seasons, because the first half they were really not very good. Since about January 1st, they've really gotten going. And so even though they ranked 22nd in power play, it's better, I think, than that number. Now, the Devils power play, 4th best in the NHL. They had an opportunity, a couple of chances. Jack Hughes, Stefan Nason, Dawson Mercer, Timo Meier, DeSmith. This was in the first period. DeSmith was really, really good. Go to the second period. Stars had a power play. They didn't really do a lot. Oh, they did get that one Dadonov one-timer I thought was a pretty good pass.
It was
across.
The entries again. Like, isn't this the one, the entries? And
yeah,
they weren't clean on their entries, and they end up turning it over around top of the circle. They got to chase it down an extra 15 seconds.
Second period, biggest thing for me was Casey DeSmith again. There was a stretch of the game where you and I were trying not to fall asleep, but he stopped Brett Pesce on a one-timer. I don't know if he just chunked it, if the puck was rolling a little bit, or if it bit off speed, makes a save. Then Pesce gets the retrieval, finds Meier backdoor. That was one of DeSmith's best saves of the game.
That was a big save there, yeah.
Then Hamilton was wide open in the right circle. What happened on that faceoff? All of a sudden, he's one-on-one, and it's a heck of a play by DeSmith because he tips just the top of the glove to parry it over the net.
Yeah, you kind of go brain dead a little bit there, for that opportunity.
You think it just skittered it loose and he was the only guy that reacted? Because everybody else is standing around.
If you want to call it skittered, it skittered.
Well, that was a grade A chance. Then Jason Robertson had one. The only good chance the Stars really had in the entire second period was a little pass out from behind the net. Robo's coming in late. Good save by Jake Allen.
Yeah. All I can say is,
yep,
you're right.
That's fine. So we go.
You're right, Owen.
Go to the third. Dougie Hamilton put a mark on the left post.
He put a dent in the left post.
That thing was moving, right?
Yeah, he got all of that one.
What is the line from Major League? The old Jake Taylor, Tom Berenger line says, that thing, sucker was moving, hit you, leave you a 2-foot hole coming out of the back.
I'll trust you on that one, too.
You love baseball movies, I know. Well,
I don't watch movies like 7 times like you guys. I don't memorize these. It's amazing. I don't know. You guys got a life.
It took a while
to get out and have a beer.
We could do both. It took a while for us to get a good replay of this, but Matt Duchene had one where he came across the crease on the backhand.
Yeah.
Allen's down, but somehow is able to get his glove up high enough to catch that shot.
Duchene put that puck in his glove.
He did.
That's a desperation move by Allen. Again, he doesn't quit on it. And Duchene, what did he? He said something.
Wow.
I don't know.
Did he give a big wow?
Yeah, it might have been a wow, but you could read his lips. He didn't believe it either. But he knew that. He probably didn't get it up as high as he wanted to, but it went right in the glove.
Then, kind of another flat period. We're saying this game isn't great. I mean, again, there were some moments, right, Luds? But it was a lot of then Wyatt Johnston gets a breakaway. Dougie Hamilton doing his best slow skating impression.
Oh, that looked bad, doesn't it?
Oh.
Well, you know what happened on that? Wyatt broke his stick.
Yeah.
He lost his stick.
And
he
went
ends
to
up
the
having to
bench.
go to the bench. Everybody loses track of him in a red jersey, and he comes off the bench. And actually, it hit Hamilton in the foot, I think. Or maybe it hit Wyatt, but it hit somebody. It slowed down, and old Dougie there just couldn't get the boots moving enough to get up there.
It was in quicksand or whatever.
Yeah.
So Wyatt makes the decision to go to the bench and get a stick. Jesper Bratt actually gets a pretty decent scoring chance while he's doing that. But the Stars defend it, and then they get that move. Again, 2-0 lead at this point. I'm not so sure I have a problem. Actually, I think I kind of encourage, rather than trying to defend without a stick where you're really, other than Jack Eichel's skate play in the final the other night against Canada, usually when you don't have a stick, you're pretty close to useless.
Yeah, but that time you're coming back to your end anyways. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're coming out of the offensive zone.
It's not the long change or anything.
Correct, yeah. So you're coming back to your end. The bench is kind of on your way in a way, and it works out well. It was just funny how they all lost track of where he was, especially Hamilton.
Well, the Devils get a power play. And this time they score, and it's Jack Hughes on a one-timer from the right side. And this one was because of Ilya Lyubushkin trying to hold off Timo Meier as he tried to stuff it at the post, but he also gave a nice little chicken wing to Meier's stick right in front of Kelly Sutherland.
Well, then he grabbed it. He literally grabbed the shaft of it. So
here we go again, John. I hope he's not listening this time.
Okay.
He missed it.
So, but anyway, he grabbed the shaft of his stick, and and Sutherland standing right there looking at it. And but it was like Timo Meier. The reason that had to happen is because there was second and third effort by him. So
Hughes scores a one-timer on the shot from the right circle. You could, at the camera where we were watching, you could just see how much space is DeSmith coming across. He hit his spot. It was a good shot.
Yeah, it looked like it went through him, didn't it? I mean, it was kind of a desperation to get across. But again, Hughes gets all of it. And you could see this was a little different than playing in the Four Nations.
Boy, it was
there was
really
a little bit
for him.
Yeah, because there was more open areas out there, especially in the first game coming back with these guys having a break. But also, not the same players on the ice.
Well,
that can
that's my
anticipate
question. Do you think Hughes, being on the younger side for that group of Team USA, even though he's still a top 6 guy and getting power play time, maybe played with a little bit within himself because of who he's got around him versus here, he knows he's the focal point on that Devils power play?
No, I honestly, I just think that the players that were in that tournament were the best of the best. They're, for the most part, some guys that were injured weren't there. And there just wasn't a lot of time. It was a fast game. There wasn't a lot of time and space out there. And you're that water bug kind of player, and you're not playing against the best players on the planet night or 82 games.
His speed doesn't stand out as much in that game, does it?
Exactly. It didn't stand out at all. He couldn't get anywhere he wanted to go. Tonight, now you see it on the cycles and the seams, plus having a break in between where guys aren't as sharp as they normally would be.
And he's been playing, so you would imagine that that'd be an advantage for Hughes. Well, he scores. 35 seconds later, the Stars answer. And I feel like Dallas's narrative this year has always been the other way around. They score a goal, immediately concede one on the next shift. But this was Matt Duchene from Jamie Benn. Benn now with points in 5 straight. Again, 13-day break in the middle of it, but extends his point streak to 5. And Matt Duchene, he's not going to miss that shot very much, is he?
It was a great pass by Jamie. It was nice that Jamie was actually coming out of the corner towards his own blue line, so he's on his forehand side. He was on the right wing side, and he's able to take it on his forehand, makes a perfect pass, and he gets it off the stick right away. And what Duchene does, what was so smooth about it, it was the catch and release. Yeah. I mean, he gets it, he pulls it in, and he lets it go right away. You don't get a goaltender time to set up.
Kind of like the, unfortunately, McDavid goal in overtime. Yeah. He caught it and got rid of it, didn't waste any time. Well, that goal, Luds, means Duchene is pulled ahead of Roope Hintz. Team lead now with 23 goals this year. He has points in 3 straight. He had 2 points tonight, including an assist on the Harley power play goal. So he now has 8 points in his last 3 NHL games. Not too bad.
Yeah, pretty good for a guy that's not making probably the money that he thinks he should be making right now. So, and I think we're pretty confident that they like to have him back. So he might get rewarded for what he's doing this season, next season. But yeah, I think he just feels really good about his game. And, along with not being on that Canadian team, I think there's other guys that feel that same way. But he's been, one thing Matt Duchene has been all year long is steady and consistent.
A minute and 5 seconds later, Jack Hughes scores again. This time it's a 5-on-5 goal, but it's a slap shot from the left circle. Second goal in a minute and 40 seconds. 3 goals in all total, but bookended around the Duchene goal was 2 from Hughes. His 26th of the year, and it makes it 3-2. And it gets a little bit interesting, but boy, Luds, I showed you this play right afterwards. Harley had a really nice play where he came from the right side into the middle of the slot and then just to the left side of the center line. Gets a good shot off. Jake Allen makes a great save. And then Jason Robertson did his best hacky sack move. He tried to hit that bouncing puck with just about every appendage he had, and he couldn't knock it past the fallen Allen.
Yeah, it's funny. It seemed like it took forever for that puck to finally come down. But again, from a New Jersey standpoint, nobody does anything to him. He just gets to stand there and almost get 3 opportunities at it. Like there's nobody running him over. Everybody's just kind of staring at the puck flopping around.
So the rebound comes out. He kicks it with his skate. If that had gone in, it might have been a kicking in motion. Then he bats it out of the air. Then he taps it up in the air again. It falls on Allen. He's poking at it. And you just said it, but No contact, nobody going and saying, okay,
No
now
one
you don't
around.
get another chance.
Yeah.
The closest was Hughes, and he attacked the puck trying to keep it from going in.
Yeah, I think you give credit to Allen on that one, being able to keep his eyes on the puck as it's getting kicked and bounced and kneed around.
And then to wrap up the scoring recap tonight, it belongs to Wyatt Johnston, who almost got an awarded goal because with an empty net, I thought he was going to go down. He got absolutely dragged, and yet he kept his balance. If he gets pulled down there, the referee, because there's nobody in the net, could determine that if he stays on his feet, he scores the empty net. They could have awarded him a goal, but he keeps his balance. Honest player. We always like that, right? This isn't soccer. And he scores an empty net shorthanded goal, and that finishes off 4-2. Wyatt with 2 points tonight.
Yeah, Wyatt looked good. I mean, I think we expected him to look good. I mean, he came in there going into the break. He had a ton of confidence coming out of it. He's been one of the hottest players out there. So I didn't expect anything less from Wyatt.
I have one thing before we get to our next ad break, John. Russell in the chat says, we need a drop of Happy Gilmore yelling Chubbs for when Jamie Benn gets mentioned. That's actually pretty good. So, again, this is a movie. You probably maybe or maybe not seen. It involves Adam Sandler. He thinks he's a hockey player, but he's playing golf.
That. Come on. I've seen that.
You don't
movie.
remember Major
But I haven't
League.
watched it 6 times. I saw it when it came out. That was it.
So
I don't memorize every line in the movie.
Russell, John made a note.
I had an alligator bite his hand
He'll put
off.
it to the yeah, that's right, and he'll put it to the review panel and make a
And
decision.
Bob Barker knocked out somebody.
They've been playing that at the AAC for a long
maybe
time
that's
now,
what I
haven't
saw.
they? Up next, Super Chats. Get them up. Let's go.
We've got the perfect gift for the passionate sports fan in your life. Perhaps you've heard of Ice Shaker. Ice Shaker is now officially licensed with the NFL, NHL, NBA, NCAA, and MLB and will make the ideal gift. Created by the Gronkowski brothers, Ice Shaker has sold over 1 million bottles. They've changed the game with workout bottles, and this is the bottle you've been looking for. Kitchen-grade stainless steel bottles that won't absorb odor like the plastic bottles do. Patented twist-in agitator that breaks up powders but is silent when you shake it instead of that annoying ball. The agitator works as a strainer as well. Send us your logo or check out our custom shop to customize your favorite bottle. Order your team-branded bottles today at iceshaker.com and use the code ALLCITY25 for 25% off your order. Ice Shaker. Show your support for your teams with the best branded workout bottles on the market. Ice Shaker.
Let's talk about Game Time. Well, simply put, you need Game Time to watch your favorite sporting events, concerts, theater, comedy shows in person. You need to download the Game Time app. You use the feature called Game Time Picks, makes getting tickets for events even easier, filters out all the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats. Right now, we've got highlights you can get. Stars are hosting St. Louis coming up next Sunday, a week from tomorrow. The Bucks are at the Mavs at the AAC the day before. A lot of busy action downtown. And guess what? Opening day for the Rangers against the Boston Red Sox. How about that, Johnny? Red Sox are in town March 27th. Doesn't that seem a little early for opening day? Either way, you can use Game Time to get your tickets. Download the Game Time app. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets. Create an account and use the code DLLS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem the code DLLS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. All right. You know what time it is. It's Super Chat time. Now, we've had a regular post-game show, but we haven't had a Stars post-game show in a couple of weeks. So let's get to it. Let's have a little fun with our favorite diehards. All you have to do is click that little logo, the little $, show us a little support, and you can get in the queue for tonight's Super Chat. So, John, tee us off.
Bing bong.
Davis Dunkelberger writes in with a little Lundqvist, Duchene. Get ready, boys. Nice to see the team come back from the extended break and really control the game. The sequence to prevent Allen from going to the bench.
Get ready, boys.
They did take a long time to get the extra attacker on late down by a goal because the Stars didn't just sit back and allow them to get set up in their defensive zone.
Good move.
Next one.
Bing bong.
Talk hockey with me. A little Bichsel hints. Rope seems to be off. Just a slump? I know he doesn't nurse injuries, but could he be hurt? Glad to see Bish bringing the boom. Go Stars, fantastic win.
I think you're being polite there. Or is that facetious?
Maybe both.
Okay.
Do you think, I don't know, we haven't had a chance to ask about this, but they showed on the TNT broadcast, the third, I think it was TNT, it was the third game, so it was Monday, Finland against Canada. And they were showing what it looked like a bloody pinky for Hintz on the bench. Now, he stayed on the bench and he played and whatever, but just wonder if these maybe got, seriously, they actually had a TV shot. I could pull it up. We'd take some time. And they were talking, the broadcasters were saying, I wonder if there's an injury. Well, it's not keeping him out of the game, but what's going on there? It was all red. I don't know.
No, he does not nurse injuries. So, that's what I was talking about coming into the game tonight. I was hoping to see, what we see, because he's got to be a big part of this team from here until whenever they're done with the playoffs. So, I just think when he's on it and when he skates, and it starts with his skating, and when he wants to, he can drive the net, and you're either going to draw a penalty, you're going to get a quality scoring chance, and somebody's going to put in the rebound. But there's times when he just kind of disappears a little bit, and he doesn't, not only does he not help himself, but he doesn't help the two guys that he's playing with. And that's what's important. And when that happens, it takes away from what I think the winning recipe is for this team, is where Pete DeBoer can, roll through lines and everybody's giving the same thing. And it's just like one after another after another. They keep coming downhill at you. And when Rupe's off a little bit, they don't seem as dangerous.
Jordan followed up in the chat saying, I am being nice because I really like Rope. LOL, but it's bad.
Yeah, I agree. I said this a couple years ago too. And it just seems like there's these moments or these pockets of games that whatever it is.
And look, he's got 22 goals. It's the second most on the team. He hasn't played in every game. He's played in 52 of 56, so he's missed 4. He's an important player. Obviously, is supposed to be a big player for Finland. They were disappointed with their play, and he was part of that. Rantanen didn't have a very good Four Nations tournament either. But for Rantanen, it's a little easier to explain because he's going through the first time in his professional, or at least his NHL career, where he's been traded midseason, changing teams after all that time in Colorado. You can understand how that's going to be a little harder. I'm not saying that's an excuse, just trying to understand what's going on.
Yeah, and the thing about it, though, is like on that goal that we're talking about tonight, he will go to the front of the net.
Yeah.
And I've seen times when he's in front of the net and he gets hit with a puck, and whether it's off the foot or off the hand, and he may make it look like it hurts, and I'm sure it does, but he won't shy away the next time on the power play going to the front of the net. So you give him credit there. You just want to see him push through things.
Yep. All right, let's go to the next one.
Bing bong.
I Love Misty, 1985. A Bichsel and Ludwig. By the way, did you see that John Klingberg scored his first goal for the Edmonton Oilers today?
Oh, yeah.
He's wearing number 36, which just looks really weird on him. Yeah. But anyway, it's kind of a goalie number, isn't it? 36. I Love Misty, 1985. As much as I hate seeing the Stars give up a power play goal, I do love seeing a Stars win coming out of the break behind the goaltending of Casey, sexy as Sam.
I think it's important. I like I said, why didn't Jake start? And I just think it was because there was more of a rhythm for Casey, and with wherever Jake was, they probably didn't get all of the action and the reps that he needed at the time. And so I think that this is going to help him. But Casey, I think that I don't know if we've got a couple games this year when he's been in the net that we thought weren't good games for him.
One that stands out to me is that game in Chicago.
Yeah,
where he
gave up 6 goals. I think it was.
And he had a turnover. He gave up a bad. I think didn't Taylor Hall have a hat trick? Yeah. He gave up kind of a soft first goal. Then he turned the puck over that led to the second one. Got caught out of the net.
But otherwise, I mean,
we're talking about 1 or 2, right?
Yeah, we've been very, very happy with DeSmith, and there's some games that he's come out on the right side of it, and the team wasn't in front of him at times, and so he had to bail him out. And I think he's been great.
Casey DeSmith, I'm just looking at his game by game, has now won 4 consecutive starts. He had lost at Ottawa. Remember, that was the second night of a back-to-back after playing in Montreal the night before. I don't think the team was very good after a really good game against the Canadiens. And then He lost that game where he gave up 6 at Colorado. Again, the Stars weren't very good because that was the second night of a back-to-back. Played at home, then had to fly to Denver.
Backup goalies always seem to get those games, right?
You knew that. Then he blanked the St. Louis Blues in St. Louis, gets the shutout. And then the last 2 starts, he got some run support, right? He beat the Blue Jackets, gave up 3 goals in 1, gave up 3 at San Jose. They scored 8. Tonight, we're back to 2 or less. They win the hockey game.
I also think it's important that your backup guy has to push your starter. Jake is the starter, and Jake knows that if I get on a little skid here, Casey can come in and maybe get 2-3 games in a row. And so, you push your guy. And I think they push each other. And I think they respect each other, that's for sure. But any time that you can do that, and there might be times in a game where you may see in a game where Jake gives up a couple goals early in a game and Pete decides to pull him, but they're going to walk down to the end and they'll put Casey and he'll walk down the bench and say, you're going in to start of the second period. And you can trust that your backup guy will go in there and just take a breath, Jake. You're going back in, and as long as you reassure him that, that's what it is. And there's different ways to handle your starters.
DeSmith has now played 9 games in his career against New Jersey. He's 4-3, and his goals against is about 2.5. Save percentage is up about 925. He's been really good. The ability to trust him, which they've done, allows them to not play Jake in a game like this as they chose not to. And now you've got Otter for the second game, if they want to do that, which they're going to do against the Islanders. But they give him an extra day from that Four Nations final. If they didn't trust DeSmith, I think they'd be like, oh, geez, we got to play Jake today.
Yeah, and I think they're in a good spot in the standings. You know what I mean? They're not.
Boy, are they?
You're not chasing uphill against someone, so you're doing pretty good.
We were talking about that on the show, going, everybody's sort of shocked that they're sitting in 3rd overall in the league. They've been really good. The numbers are this, lads. 7-1-1 in their last 9 games. And in their last 24, they've won 16-5-2. It's about almost nearly 750 hockey. You keep doing that, you're going to be in that echelon of teams. They are at 74 points ahead of the Vegas Golden Knights, Edmonton Oilers, and Minnesota Wild, which they were tied. And they're 8 points behind Washington, who leapfrogged over Winnipeg today with the win. I mean, again,
those East teams you don't really care about because you're not meeting them to the final.
Winnipeg's won 8 in a row.
Yeah.
So, but you're talking about the creme de la creme of the NHL right now.
Colorado end up losing tonight. They were down 2-1 when we came up here, right? Or came down here.
Let me look and see if they finished that off.
To me, that's the one team that.
Yeah, Preds hung on.
Yeah,
Predators only had 17 shots on goal. They won 2-1. So,
and I think Dallas has a game or 2 in hand on Colorado. Maybe one on Minnesota or the other way around, something like that. So I said those teams.
Minnesota's played 1 more, and Colorado's played 2 more. And Dallas. So good spot. You're right. If you're not going to stress out about catching Winnipeg, but you do need to make sure you keep home ice for the first round at least. And then in this case, you have to go to win. Let's say you get through the first round. This is a big if because it's not going to be easy, and you have to beat Winnipeg on the road in the second round. As it stands now, they're ahead of Vegas. They would have home ice for the conference final if they get to that far. Why are we talking about this? Because there's so much time to go. Because the expectation is so high. If this team does not get to round 3, it's going to be a disappointment. And it might be a disappointment if they don't get to round 4.
Yeah, I just look at it at the first round. Yeah. I just think, and again, you don't ever want to, especially as a player, you're not going to pick the team, say, hey, we don't want to play these guys, we do want to play these guys. I just think that they're a better matchup against Minnesota if Minnesota stays there versus playing Colorado in that first round.
So let's do another super chat.
Bing bong.
Because I know we're not done with them. Burned Oils, a little Brendan Smith and Duchene. Just want to say, I too finish my chicks. Always. I'm sure that's not the only super chat in that theme.
New emoji coming up.
That was next up, to be fair. I didn't move that up to make fun of our poor friend Luds.
Bing bong.
Marshall second with a little Pavelski and Duchene. Tonight was a fun game. Stars games and DLS got me into hockey over the past year. Used my new skates for the first time today as I try to learn to play. Thanks for making this sport so engaging.
Welcome aboard.
That's what I think more than anything else is what the Four Nations tournament does.
Oh, yeah.
Best on best.
Yeah.
It motivates, inspires people to get into the sport, whether it's fans, whether it's people playing. And, look, for all the things we complain about over things, the Stars program, their Learn to Skate, whether it's the little rookies or they even have an adult little rookies, they will literally, and look, we don't work for the Dallas Stars anymore. We both have, although you're still an alumni. They will give you can sign up for free 4 Saturday sessions. Your kid, they give you all the gear to rent, or not rent, for free, just to borrow. And you get to try and see if you like it. You don't have to put any money down. Then if you like it, you get an opportunity to buy the gear at a pretty decent price and start doing Hockey Academy. And go, and you know what? I have some adult friends that have started doing that, just learning. And now they're playing in what would it be? Like a triple, well, no, I got to be careful. I can't call it that.
Well, I'm just happy that your friends are adults, because it'd be kind of weird if they were.
You mean like Sam? Yeah.
Not little people, little kids.
You're just, well, Anyway, it's just a great way. You can always get into the sport. You don't have to be a 5-year-old to start learning how to play hockey. Even adults can do it. They have, beginner leagues for adults as well, not just us. It's a lot of fun. All right, what do we have next?
Bing bong.
Oh, Jordan with another one. This time a Heiskanen and Pavelski. Obligatory Pavelski mention. There's 2 dings, but thank you, Jordan. You pay for it, you get it.
Bing bong.
And last one for now.
Mav LHP, left-handed pitcher, 44. That's Cody Ceci now, although I still think of Joel Hanley. So, Bichsel and Mario Lemieux. Thanks to DLS for being reliable, especially when in Delaware, DE, or is that could be what? Germany? And the radio home airs a pat on the back fest over the game. Also missing Owen with FCD this year. Yep. So thank you very much. Yeah, I understand all the things you're saying, but we're here to make friends. We're not here to make enemies, right, Luds?
That's what I hear.
Yeah, although Luddy still has opinions too. So that is your Super Chats, and we are right on time for this. Let's talk about being a diehard. You can get a shirt. Sign up to be a diehard. You can get a shirt just like this one. We can get the one that's all black. You can get the one that's the Stars green. It looks really nice. All sorts of options. That's just a perk. Scan the QR code at the bottom of the screen. Luddy can show you where it is. It will get you to the All DLS website, alldls.com. Click on the diehard link. Sign up today, and you get all of the writing that all of our coverage does. Stars, Mavs, Cowboys, Rangers. It really is fantastic. Special offer, though, right now for those of you that are into this but haven't pulled the trigger yet. Spring training discount. Look at that. Nearly half price for an annual subscription for your first year. $48. Jeff Wilson, our Rangers writer, is in Surprise, Arizona with the Rangers for spring training right now. Check out his coverage. Become a diehard to get all that, plus what we get from Sam, from Sean, and everybody else that writes. And look, I don't know how many Mambo taxis this guy had last night, but St. Patrick's Day is around the corner.
Oh, these are some nice shirts.
And if you're a diehard, you get a 20% discount on all DLS merch, including the St. Patty's Day drop from ALLCITY.
Those are great shirts.
Yeah. You got one already.
Well, now not with the little leprechaun on it, though.
No, Rad's got that one.
Yeah.
They didn't give you that one.
No.
Feel shortchanged a little bit?
Well, kind of, but I'm happy with the one that I got. I think it's a day drinking champion shirt. So
it was.
Yeah.
It had the right message. It just felt like you didn't get the same flair.
Well, Ben had that sitting here in the chair for me, and then they pulled out the little leprechaun shirts. Them are some cool shirts.
Yeah, they are pretty cool.
Yeah.
So anyway, become a diehard today. Awesome experience and discounts on future events. We have a first ever DLS Stars watch party at
I was
Cosm.
just going to bring that up. I was going to say, are we going to talk about that thing anymore? Or?
Well, we're already sold out.
Okay, so
you can't even buy tickets anymore.
Is that event, are we doing a show or are we just hanging out?
Both.
We're doing a show there?
I don't think we can't do the show there.
Okay, well
so
then
we have to figure
why
out,
would you say both?
Well, because we're
doing
going
a show that day?
Yeah. No. We're doing a pre and post game show. We just have to figure out where we're going to go after and before Cos. That's where John was.
Wait,
if you're,
can you break this down for me?
If you have a establishment near Grandscape,
this is an 8 or 9 o'clock game, isn't it? That night,
it's at Edmonton.
9 o'clock. Yeah.
So, explain it to me. What are we doing?
We have 3 options here.
We don't know what we're doing.
I'm not in charge of this.
No. We were talking about it with our
explain
GM the other day. We have 3 options here. And by the way, Sam is probably waiting to say hi for us from.
He is.
He can come in. We can welcome in our intrepid beat writer with his beautiful face.
Oh, bitter beer face.
It is.
I wanted to be part of this, you know? I love getting a little confused.
So Luddy's confused, Sam. So we have this watch party at Cosm, March 26th, I believe. Stars at Edmonton Oilers. We are doing a pre- and post-game show, but we have not been given clearance to do it at Cosm. So our options are
Bush League.
Watch the game, drive back downtown, do a post-game show after we get here, which would be kind of a delay because Grandscape to downtown is what?
Post-game show is going to be starting about what, 11?
Exactly. No, later
11:30?
even. 11:30 maybe. Option 2, we drive home. We do a StreamYard remote from our houses after Cosm. Option 3, we use
Lud's hot tub.
experience. No, don't make it weird. Everybody knows that Lud's has connections with all the establishments in DFW. Maybe there's a place around there that wants to host our pre and post that's near Cosm, so we don't have to take too long to get there.
I know of a
See, he's already wheels are turning.
No,
already.
well, I was going to say we got a text message from Brian Waddle today. Waddle, if you're listening.
Oh, and you actually learned his first name.
Yeah, I know. I found that out today. So Waddle, if you're listening, you know that place right over there off of Hebron? Let's see if we can get a hold of someone there.
And John has done a week of remote broadcasts at the Super Bowl, so he is our DLS expert.
What if we just did a parking lot party at the end of it? And we just go out in the parking lot.
Yeah.
As long as you can get
we'll just tailgate.
Connection.
Yeah,
We'll tailgate with the Gronkowski brothers, and we'll bring our ice shakers out there.
This could be a bit of a challenge. You need a long enough extension cord to plug the equipment in.
Generator.
2, you need a corded connection internet. You can't just do Wi-Fi. So you got to have something that you can run to be able to broadcast the stuff. That's the biggest.
Doesn't sound like this thing was thought through.
Listen.
Well, the thing that you're saying wasn't thought through is something that we're not even doing as of now. So, like, the rest of it that we're actually doing was thought through.
The Cosm part.
Thought through.
Thought
through.
And with the Mavs did this at the beginning of February. I went to it. It's fun. They drove down here for the postgame show. So there you have it.
What is this?
I don't know what that is. Sam, is that your background?
Oh, man. Huh?
What is this?
Oh, I was just checking. Sorry, that's just a painting behind me. I was just checking to see. I'm trying to go in the practice rink over here. It's a sick practice rink, but there's a big sound over the whole thing. So I'm not going to do that. I'll just make the sound for you guys.
Sam, we've been having a lot of fun tonight. We thought we lost you. Rhea already wrote squirrel in the chat, which makes me laugh.
Squirrel.
How was your experience at Prudential Center tonight?
It was a lot of fun. Good game, obviously, but had a ton of people, family members that were here, so I got to go see them between the periods. Saw a lot of people up in the press box that I'm honestly surprised remembered me with how far they stuffed me in the corner last time I was here.
He's bitter about that.
It was a lot of fun. No, it was just funny that I got a better seat as a visitor than as the home writer. But it's a lot of fun. Cool to be back here. It's rare to be on the road and actually know where the heck you're going after games and before games and stuff. So that's been nice. Although I did end up still locked out down here in the basement. So maybe that wasn't best case scenario, but it was a lot of fun. Good game. Everybody was in a good mood and happy to be back. So I'm happy to be back as well.
Well, hey, Andrew's got a generator and some bright lights on the side of his trailer. So we're getting closer. We're getting closer to the parking lot.
If you don't
and
have
then you know what I said? What about our alumni room?
Oh, at Farmers?
Yeah.
That would be so tight.
Huh? You see, Sam, you like that idea?
So sick. Yeah, it would be sick.
He just likes that because he lives down there. So it'd be like a 2-minute drive home.
Right there.
Yeah.
And you get massages maybe while there.
It's just me or is Sam getting shorter?
Where are you going, Sam? By the way, when Sam was out of the screen, he got distracted by the practice rink. Gallagher Champ said 2 things. One, the demon sound was hilarious, although we haven't heard that tonight. And oh no, Sam has turned into a water thermos. Because your bottle was behind you there.
Yes. Yes. The Utah Yetis.
Is that an ice shaker?
No, I don't have an ice shaker. I still don't really fully understand what they are, but
I don't know. But I'm thinking if I say ice shaker enough tonight, they'll send me one.
They should.
Yeah.
They can do a free one.
So first game back from the break. They get the lead. They get the win. Mood's got to be pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. I think everyone just looked like they had a relief just to be back in the swing of things. I think there were a lot of people, everybody really within the organization expected this game to be a little sloppy. You look around the league, Pete even mentioned this afterwards. You got teams winning 8-3 and 6-5 in overtime. And Pete said, you know what, it would have been stupid for me to think that we were the one team that was going to come out and be firing on all cylinders. So they definitely weren't. I mean, every single player and the coach and everyone said Casey DeSmith stole that game. He was the best player on the ice, which is very true. I mean, he stole a few that very well could have changed this game. Interestingly enough, I was looking at the Devils stats before the game. They are horrible in the first period. They've scored like 30 something goals in the first period and like 70 and 65 in the other periods. So again, that worked out for the Stars. It got them out to the 2-0 lead. But the thought process around here is simplify. We knew it was going to be sloppy. Just come out. The lead was huge, right? I'm sure you guys talked about it. When you come back from this type of game or this type of break or whatever it is a heck of a lot easier to play ahead than it is to play from behind. And this team's really hard to beat when they are ahead. And that's exactly what they did tonight. Got out to a lead, and then Casey was great in order to hold it down for him.
Sam, before you came on, I don't know if you heard us or not, we were talking about Rupe. And it's one thing to watch a player on TV. What did you see in him tonight watching him live?
You know, I didn't really see him, Luds, to answer your question honestly. He looked I don't want to say he looked out of place or anything like that, but he did look a little bit lost, a little bit spinny. It looked kind of like he was out there after did I freeze? Oh, we're good. He looked like he just hadn't been playing in a while, which isn't the case, right? Yeah,
That's what I'm talking
he looked,
about.
just kind of spinning around a little bit. You know the feeling, Luds, when you're just not touching the puck a lot.
Are you looking for the word floating, Sam?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I mean. Floating is a perfect way to say it. It just kind of looks like he was out there. You're out there. You're not really touching the puck. You're not having a big impact, and you're spinning a lot. And that's what it looked like from him. So I don't know if I heard you guys talking a little bit if there was an injury or something like that. I don't know that that's the case. But it definitely looks like it's a little surprising for him because he was pretty hot coming out of going into that break. He was scoring some goals at a pretty high pace, and I think for this team he needs to get back to doing that.
Maybe that's part of it. If he goes into a 2 or 3 game skid where he doesn't get a point or a goal, that somehow that affects him. But it seems like when he's getting goals back to back, he comes out that
streaky
next game. Yeah. So it just seems like there's times.
Well, I don't think that line was very good tonight. I thought Wyatt
they
was
weren't
fine.
noticeable for sure.
No, that's what I mean, is that we noticed the Granlund, Duchene, and Marchment line a fair amount. And Bork, Ben, Dadonov, they were noticeable. The fourth line for what they do, right? Steele, it's that top line. And that's good. Look, it's a good thing and shows how good of a team they are that the Stars can win a hockey game on the road after a 13-day break without their top line really clicking. But, in the last 25, 27 games, they're going to need those guys to get going.
Rupe played 24 shifts tonight. His ice time was 16 minutes.
Yeah.
Essa played 27 shifts and his ice time was Rupe had 16, Essa had 22. Now, we know that when there's a penalty to be killed, Essa's not coming off the ice.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying,
it's funny.
He played 422 shorthanded.
Yeah.
Essa.
Yeah.
No, but that's
Rupe does that a lot
balance.
though, which is interesting.
I mean,
His
I
shifts
don't know
seem
if he
very
had the
short.
most shift or number of shifts as forwards go. Wyatt generally plays the most minutes every night. I think probably Wyatt had to get in 17 or 18 minutes.
It's funny you say that because when Rick Bowness was coaching the team, one of his concerns or criticisms of Hintz was that his shift lengths were too short, that he would go for about 20 seconds hard and then get off the ice. And he says, look, he doesn't have to skate for a minute out there. He goes, but we need to stretch him out so they're 30, 35, 40, because otherwise you're in, if the whole line gets unbalanced, then it messes all your chemistry and your line combos up. So
and the last thing you want is a player to stay over his shift
that's right.
limit, right? Yeah.
Right.
So,
Short is better than longer to a degree. we have a couple more things to get to.
Sam, yes, Sam, I saw the look in your eye. I know what you're thinking.
But before we do, thanks to everyone who joined on our television platforms. Make sure to like and subscribe here on the pod and check out alldlls.com.
Bing bang.
Okay, back to the show and a super chat.
Technically, we got two super chats. I don't know if it was a misfire, but I Love Misty sent this twice.
Okay, well, we've got a Ludwig from I Love Misty. Ducks 3, Bruins 2 overtime. Sorry, producer John.
I mean, I'm on record. I want the Bruins to lose as many games as possible. So, Misty, keep sending these. Actually, you know what? I take that back. I want them to win every game, and if you guys send super chats every time they lose, I'll be very angry. So don't do it.
Think that
They're
reverse
tanking,
psychology
so you
works on
can
diehards.
And it doesn't change because it's literally just the same chat. Got sent
So
twice.
I Love Misty sent it twice.
Same exact super chat, same exact amount.
So
I think he's trying to rub it in, John.
if you do it 2 times
love
over, 303 plus 303 is Bichsel 606. Ducks
Perfect
still
timing.
win in overtime over the Bruins. Sorry, John. Sam, anything
Can we talk
else
about Bichsel?
from the room? We talked quite a bit about Bichsel. What do you like to share about Bichsel?
Yeah, so I didn't hear your guys' conversation about it, but there was a lot of conversation. We asked a bunch about him because not just the physicality in the first period specifically. He absolutely just lays that massive hit. Within the first 2 minutes, he's scrapping, he's throwing it around, even though no one was even near DeSmith. He just wanted to get into the game and wanted to get physical, which I know Luds loves. But I think the big one for me is that he's not just bringing that physicality, he's also making the right plays and not making mistakes. So a lot of things coming together, right? But the big consensus was we asked about what he brings. What do you see? We asked Thomas Harley, we asked Lindell, and we asked Pete DeBoer. And the common consensus was that it gives the team something they didn't have, and that's really the first time I've heard this team like fully admit that they didn't have physicality. I mean, how many times did we talk on this show about them not giving enough back and not standing up for themselves enough? Harley and Pete DeBoer both said straight up, but he gives us something we didn't have or we don't have. And Thomas Harley said that it's a big boost to their team to have someone back there. He said that he's someone with some snarl and some meanness to their game. He said he literally said, look, we don't hit very much. So having someone that can do that is a big boost because it takes a little bit of pressure off of other guys who maybe don't do that, who think they have to step out of their game a little bit to do it. But it also just gives them that factor of we need to be aware when he's on the ice. And really, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but in the last at least few seasons, outside of Jamie Benn, no one's really given that to the Stars. No one's made a team scared. No one's made a team constantly thinking that guy's on the ice, we need to be ready for it. And that's what guys talk about at that tournament. They talked about it at the Four Nations, and they talk about it in the NHL, where it's hard to play against a team when you're thinking that guy's on the ice, especially if it's someone who's going to play 20 minutes a night. That guy's on the ice. We need to be aware of it. It just takes you slightly out of your game. And I think Bichsel brings that. And I think he is here to stay. And both Pete and Thomas Harley said that they're going to be singing his praises for a long time.
Just to sum up what Sam just said, he brings a presence. There's a presence out there now.
How big? Look, you played with the king of the presence in Darian Hatcher, and you different team, different style of play.
But there's a difference in those two.
Why?
Right now, because Hatch would snap and drop his gloves and fight. Again, different time,
That's
so
what
to
I mean.
speak.
Yeah.
But we haven't seen that from Lian yet, but I don't know if there's been a taker yet either. And we've looked, right? We've looked to see if we could find some fights, and we haven't found any.
not
So
really.
we don't really know that background there. But I promise you that if he's going to continue to grow like he is in a positive way, there's going to be somebody knocking on his door at some point as you go along here. So,
Hey, Sam, did you see on the Brendan Dillon penalty anything that happened? Because we were trying to piece that together. We saw him kind of come in late on a whistle and kind of make a little contact and say something, but we never really got a good view on the TV broadcast on Victory of why he got the 2. Did you?
I didn't get confirmation on it, but I definitely think it was something he said, because he barely, like you said, he barely made contact. I mean, he was through an official, so maybe that had part to do with it. But I think going off of what Luds just said, that exact play is what I was just thinking of. He loves that. We know that Bichsel loves to be the villain, right? He loves that FU attitude that he had. He's had it maybe a little too much at times, but that is what the Stars need a little bit of. And I think he just came out and he just pissed everybody off on the Devils. Everybody was furious at him in the first period. And Brendan Dillon took a penalty because of it. And Bichsel was legitimately laughing and smiling as he's skating back to the bench. Like, I'm not going to fight you. You're not worth it. You took a penalty just barking and being an idiot. And I think that's, you guys know me. I love that. I love that stuff. That bull sugar honey iced tea is some of my favorite stuff in hockey. And I just think that I believe you're right, Luds. I think he'll have to stand up eventually and drop the gloves. He can't always just kind of laugh it off and skate away. But he has that balance as of right now that he's able to draw you in. And even a veteran player like Brendan Dillon forced him to take a really dumb penalty that turned into a pretty huge goal in the game.
So I'm looking at this as Sam was finishing his point, which was great, by the way. Carlson scored the game-winning goal tonight, but not the one you thought. It's Leo Carlson, the overtime winner for the Anaheim Ducks. He's going to be a pretty good player for him, isn't he?
Why did you say not the one I thought? I wasn't even thinking. I was still listening.
Let's bring Eric Carlson.
That makes sense.
I know exactly.
Yeah. Sam, we could do a lot of this, but you have a game tomorrow, and we should all probably get going because we have to do a game tomorrow. You have a man of the match today?
Casey DeSmith, 100%.
Obviously. So do you have an honorable mention? Because it's Casey DeSmith is the number one for me.
Well, if I had, I would say Matt Duchene. I mean, it was an important goal, obviously, but I would say Matt, and I think he just has been consistently good all season long.
I would have gone with Duchene as my number 2, so I'm going to go with Thomas Harley. Scored a power play goal.
That was the other one.
Really important. And look at his ice time, 24-22, the most on anybody of the Stars. Minute and a half penalty kill, 2:44 power play.
So much for the taking him off the penalty kill.
6 shot attempts, a goal, +2. That's what you need from Thomas Harley with Miro Heiskanen out.
Well, you need it from Thomas Harley and Miro Heiskanen's in, too.
Yes, you do. That's a great point.
Yeah. And his defending was great. He made a couple of plays. I think he made one play where he had to go through 2 Devils to get to a poke check, and he's just so calm. We talked to him afterwards, and you guys got to go watch that video because he is just absolutely nothing the whole time. We're talking about winning a massive international tournament, and I asked him how he gets through all that personally. How do you get through mentally and get through it all? And it's pretty simple, really. I played hockey my whole life, and now I get to go there, play with the best players in the world, come back here and play with the fellas. That's as much as we get. So that swagger and confidence and just
he's pretty even keeled, isn't he?
Thomas Harley, it only helps him when he plays. As much as we want him to open up a little bit in the room after, it helps him on the ice to just stay in the moment.
I go there and I play with the best players in the world. I come here and play with these guys.
Yeah, just these chumps.
Not the best players in the world, but yeah. We're going to sign off, but we have another super chat.
Oh, hey, yo.
Bing bang.
Ardell jumping in on, we got to take Sam's name bar off for a minute. There we go. Jumping in on the I Love Misty double super chat. I support the little Bichsel, by the way. I support I Love Misty 1985 super chatting from a Cactus League trip. The die-hardiest of diehards. Stick taps to all the DLS diehards. And I'm not reading die-harda because Ardell then laughed later going, die-harda? Diehards. Sorry, Owen. So he's sticking. So apparently I Love Misty is in Arizona on a trip to see the Rangers play spring training. That's pretty diehard and still super chatting with us. So
I'm still thinking of places to have the.
Yeah. We got his wheels churning, guys. Yeah. We have a month, Letty. You have a month.
Tailgate party somewhere.
We'll figure it out. All right. Any final thoughts, Sam, before we see you tomorrow night at UBS Arena in Elmont, New York?
Only one for me is this was the first time I sat right in front of Josh and Razor in the press box, and that was awesome because I had their play-by-play right behind me the whole time. Very cool added bonus to the game, so that was fun.
How was the vantage point? Because we definitely heard Razor on the broadcast with a not so subtle jab at how far away they felt from the ice.
Way up there. Very high.
It's your old broadcast partner is usually not shy about making a comment about where they're put for a broadcast.
Yeah, didn't he do a little thing? Was it San Jose?
It was San Jose.
Oh,
yes.
my God.
That little video about where they're tucked into the rafters.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've done games in San Jose
Yeah,
before.
it's
fun to
awful.
look through those girders, right?
Yeah, it's awful.
That high? Well, Sam, safe travels as you go across the tri-state area from New Jersey to New York to the island.
Drive fast, take chances.
That's right.
Always.
For Craig Ludwig, Sam Nestler, our producer John Anderson, I'm Owen Newkirk. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Stars win 4-2 over the Devils, and we'll do it tomorrow night as they play the Islanders. The pregame show starts at 6 p.m. Central Time. The puck will drop shortly after 6:30. Good night, everyone.
Who are you people?
We all silly like the mayor.